Bing, 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 boom, boom, boom. And we're back, everybody, for another episode of the Happy No Fear podcast. This week, we have a very special guest. And I know I say that every time, but this one's extra special because it's a friend that I've known since I was, I think, 14. And we started together skateboarding, tagging in the streets way back many moons ago in Antwerp, in Belgium. So over the years, we've done a lot of cool stuff. We went on road trips. We painted, I don't know, maybe 50 collaborations together. And I'm very excited to sit down with him and share this conversation with you guys. So without further ado, please welcome Bue the Warrior. So yo, here we are with my main man,
Bue
the Warrior. What's up, my man?
I'm good.
It's nice. I know you're a little bit nervous about like the English and all that sort of stuff, but you don't have to worry about anything, man.
Well, okay.
You're already family. We already love you. And again, we're recording this time from Antwerp, from my rent-a-car. We just did a workshop. We just finished a wall.
Yeah.
A nice wall by the train tracks for the city of Antwerp. And it's great to catch up with you. You live in Mexico now.
Yes. Yeah. How long we didn't see each other? Like a couple of years, no? I think 2016.
2016, yeah.
Yeah, because I went to to San Diego to get my visa and the stamp for my residency in Mexico. And now from there, took the train.
And you came up to say hello, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a couple of days.
And then we hung out for a little bit. We didn't paint, though.
Yeah.
Did we paint?
Yeah, we paint this little van.
Oh, yeah.
In that parking spot. And then I paint something small on that wall. You paint it with Malarkey and his girl.
Malarco, yeah. Shouts to Malarco and his girl.
Yeah. So I painted like,
a little something, yeah. But we're so used to like going on the road, man. Like we were just talking about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Like things have changed. We're getting a little bit older, but normally, like it's you, me in a car. The trunk is full of paint, and we fucking hit the road. We hit Europe.
Yeah, I still think a lot about those days when you came. When I still was living in Belgium, and you came to visit Belgium.
Yeah.
And then we did this.
Wait, hold on. Let's do a little pause. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because we got some people here. Yeah, we just had a little interruption. We have some stuff in Billy's van. She's there. Also great painter, Billy Colors on Instagram, who happens to be touring.
Yeah, she came from Manchester to visit me because she knew that I was in Belgium, and I also made a little book with her. I'm gonna give you one with the birds.
You haven't shown me yet.
Yeah. She has it probably in her van.
Nice.
And she has like this little publishing whatever agency, and she makes like book with different artists. Maybe you can be the next one. It's like a kind of fanzine. Fanzine booklets. Really nice, and they left everything behind. And they bought a van.
Yeah, we're looking at the van right now. Yeah. It's like it looks like an official city van with like work lights and sirens on it.
Yeah.
But which is very good to be incognito.
And this is their home now.
I like it.
Yeah. It's like,
and they're on the road painting everywhere.
Yeah, nomad style, and
that shout out to Billy, who's she's great. So that's dope. Yeah. So man. Reminiscing about the good old days, things were quite different. I think about those days a lot too. It's very hard to do that kind of stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
To just like be like, hey, we got a week. Let's drive from Belgium to Spain, and let's paint wherever we can along the way. Those were fun days.
Yeah, but difficult. It's just difficult because we all live on other parts of the world.
Right. But, and then when we're here, it's like difficult to make time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're still the single man, but now I have also a family. I have a kid.
Right.
So the moment you have that, you have to search for time and space but at the end, every time when we see each other, after, even if it's like a couple of years we didn't see each other, it's like yesterday.
It's like yesterday.
Yeah.
Voilà. It's like, we love each other. We're brothers. You know what I mean? We got started here it's so, for everyone that's listening, it's a little bit nostalgic because we're in the exact kind of neighborhood where we both used to live in Antwerp. Yeah. Like 25 years ago. And now we're sitting, shouts to Rise One, who does the meeting of styles here. There's like 4 blocks worth of graffiti. He does a meeting of styles here. And it's like, I don't know, 200 artists on the wall. And just to like flashback to when we were really growing up here, all that shit didn't exist.
No. And people have to realize, because you have the Art Basel happening event in Miami, but this is like the same kind of energy and atmosphere, but then in Antwerp, and with only like European artists that comes from everywhere to come and paint here.
Yeah.
And once I participated also in this spot.
Yeah, you were part of this.
Yeah, I was on that wall. But it's buffed again, and now you have this typo of where it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, here it's in the world it's not that known, this event, but for Antwerp, I think like it's block huge,
it's crazy, guys. Like if you drive through here, you can drive through this whole neighborhood. Everything is covered top to bottom. Yeah. A million different styles from a million different countries.
How many meters? I think maybe 1 kilometer of.
Yeah, this is crazy.
The whole block, I think, is more than 1 kilometer of paint.
And it's very graffiti centric.
Yeah.
You know, it's all letter styles, and it's all kinds of styles. You see some influences that you can trace back to certain originators and stuff, but everyone's doing their thing. Everything's super clean, and it's kind of unique in the world. I think what Rise did here with the Meeting of Styles Antwerp. If you guys are interested, you can Google it. I'm sure there's a million photographs online. So that's pretty fresh.
Yeah, Meeting of Styles Belgium.
Yeah, and we just finished the wall with Zenith.
Yeah.
By the train track. That was also a strange one for us. A little bit.
Because we didn't paint it together for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Like something decent.
Yeah, something like proper.
Yeah.
And we kind of got a really nice spot. The city blessed us, and it's sort of like, hey, here we are. We don't want to like intrude on anything, but we kind of took one of the best spots, and we rocked it, and hopefully people dig it. It was just fun to paint.
Yeah. Also, because for us, that rail track, that kind of specific spot, it was our, you painted one of the first pieces on that rail track. Right. Like throw-ups and tagging and all that stuff. Because when we lived here, there was not too much going on. Huh?
Yeah, that's the trip. Yeah, I did do like a little quick piece there. I don't know when. I think it was like a long time ago.
I think it's 94.
Something like that.
Or 93.
Something.
Because I think it's before you left to LA, no?
Maybe it's before, yeah. I wonder now.
No. You already lived in LA.
I think it was like 95 or 96 maybe.
Yeah, but also because it was a dedication to one of your first girlfriends, no? Jen?
Oh, yeah, no, but that was in a different place.
Yeah?
Yeah. The Jen was also illegal somewhere else. I guess it doesn't matter, but what was interesting is back then, what's so significant for me about painting that big wall is that, yeah, we did get started there, and there was no one else there. I think it's still recording. Yeah, we're good. And there, like the scene was so small. There was no Banksy, there was no street art, there was no bullshit like that. It was just us, and we never thought, oh, we're gonna turn this into a living, or we'll be doing this forever, or we can earn some money. Or no, it was just, we were just doing it like we were skateboarding. It was the same as skateboarding. We just did it because it felt good, right?
Yes.
It's true, but it's super hilarious because now, since then, the world shifted, the world changed, and all of a sudden, the things that we liked to do back then, all of a sudden it became like cool, and now everyone's got an opinion, and now it's accepted by grandmothers and all kinds of people in a way. And
yeah, but at the end, all the subcultures, it always gets mainstream now.
Somehow,
so, yeah. So you always have like the pioneers of everything now. It's like when skating started, or surfing, or ska music, or reggae music,
right,
or whatever. And now the subculture, when we started, it was in their footsteps. So,
right.
And now it's like, like hip hop music now these days. It's
pop music.
Yeah, yeah. It's pop music.
Yeah.
It's mainstream. It's even more. It has more streams than country music.
So yeah, it's bigger than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But back then it was like we had to fight. Like, I remember there was one record store in town, maybe two, USA Imports and Metropolis, or whatever, Metropole.
Yeah, the Metropole.
And then there's like, literally, there's 4 singles and like 2 of each album on vinyl. And if you didn't get there, you just didn't get the latest music.
No.
And
we were so happy. Like, now, I think maybe it's like cliche talk or blah blah blah, because probably our grandmas and grandpas say the same stuff. But I used to be happy for small things.
Yeah.
Now kids or pubers or whatever, they don't seem too happy anymore when they have their new pairs of, because it's like super.
There's so much of everything.
Yeah, voila.
Like, to get a cool pair of Adidas back then was like, man, where did you get those? Or that T-shirt. It was like, how'd you get that T-shirt?
It's really hard to be unique these days.
Right.
Because there is everything now.
And there's abundance of everything.
Yeah.
Right?
And people try. For us, when we were skaters and we had these baggy pants or, our outfits, all the people looked at us as what do you wear?
Yeah, they looked at us like some kind of rat, some kind of trash.
Yeah, and now people, they try too much to. That's my opinion.
Right.
That's how I see it. But now people try too much to be this individual with their own style, and it's like too prepped.
Right. You know what I think it is? I think everything that we like. Right, there was an activity that went along with it. If we dressed a certain way, it's because we were skating, and that was the activity. We wanted to look good on a board. Boom. We had, we cut off the jeans. We had a little T-shirt, whatever. Certain brands, cargo, but there was an activity, right? Mm. And then hip hop kicked in also, but still we were more skateboarders, and we were participants in hip hop, and obviously, got into records and all that stuff. And graffiti and all that stuff, it had certain looks, but it wasn't like I think today there's a lot of fashion and people look good, but what are you actually doing other than wearing the outfit sometimes? Like, you can look like the thing, like the rock and roller, but are you are you really good on a guitar? Oh, you don't even play the guitar or something, or you can have a certain look, but our thing was, and it came out of activity. Mm. We did the thing, and then we looked the part because we were doing the thing. Mm. And now I think that's the only thing I noticed too about like fashion, is that you look the part, but what are you actually creating? You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's something about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. We're fucking around a little bit. Guys, I love this man like crazy. We go so way back. It's we can't even encapsulate this thing on this talk. But
I think it's 25 years now.
Yeah. And that's deep. And I think we painted like, I don't know, how many walls? 60, 80 walls, I don't know something. No, it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter, but it's just a vibe. Like, this is a very special guest to me because this is the beginning. You know what I mean? From the beginning, from the root to the fruit. Yeah. My man has been there.
So maybe we're going to end up in a nursery home.
Exactly.
And talk the same shit again.
But of course, we got to talk a little shit. Yeah. But all the shit I've known you since you were a little fucking kid, man.
Yeah,
a little.
I was a bit older than everyone, but I was little.
But back then, 2 years older meant a lot.
Yeah. But now
it's like, man, it doesn't even matter.
No.
But so yeah, it's nothing but love, and so yeah, I want to talk about like, there's a lot I want to talk to you about, and I also want to talk about these things so I can share with people. One of the things I want to talk about is. And probably none of the people that are into your work and follow you and all that sort of stuff, they don't know that you never prepare anything. Well, like most of 99% of the time, and I know this firsthand, you know, you go to the wall and you draw some general forms, and you call it breien, which means knitting.
Yeah.
Right? It's knitting in English. So you start with some shapes and you just start on the wall and you trust yourself and you don't know what you're going to paint. And I'm telling you, like, endless amounts of variation of just like improvising in the moment on the wall nonstop for fucking 25 years. What is it about that you like?
Well,
or why do you think you do that instead of preparing?
Because I think in my case, I want to be, if I paint something on the streets, I want to be surprised. Because if you're already prepared and you have your sketches and you already know that you're going to make the same thing again, but just bigger, for me, it's you know, it's not that of a surprising.
So you want to surprise yourself?
Yeah, no, it's not only that. It's like I want to flow when I paint, and sometimes I like. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, because 50% or maybe more, I'm not too happy of what I'm painting, because
with the result.
Of the result, because I'm not prepared or whatever. But
you enjoy yourself while you're painting.
Because for me that's the only moment when I'm free in my head,
right?
And I don't think about any other kind of things that's going on.
Right.
It's me and the wall and the paint, and you know, I don't take time to drink, don't take time to eat. I just wanna paint.
It's workhorse. Yeah. You start a wall and you don't care what time it is. I'm gonna keep painting, no interruptions until I finish.
Yeah,
and there's a freedom in it that releases you from every day.
Yeah, it's like a kind of it's of a therapy, you know, because in a way I'm an energetic guy. I have a lot of energy in me. In the day, in the evening, I'm like an abuelo, like grandpa. I go to bed early. But, it's like, you know, when you paint, it's like you said, it's like playing jazz, you know, and you're freestyling and you make things and you see things, and suddenly, even with a fault, it's like, but I can make something. I can make a nose of this form, or I can make an eye, or whatever.
Right. So you're being responsive to the
mistakes I do.
Right.
Also.
And if you make a mistake,
great. Let's keep continuing on, and it'll lead me to like a new idea. So it's being responsive to whatever happens.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, yeah. But, you know, maybe I also don't have like that talent. Because for me, it's difficult when I sketch something and I have to paint the same thing again, but then bigger. I don't have that flow anymore.
You don't like it. You're not energized.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, yeah. And also, like, your sketches, they're good. Well, when it's just pencil sketches.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're really flowing.
Yeah.
But when you do, like, let's say a computer sketch or something, I can sense you're not really into it.
No.
Right? But then on the wall, you're really into it, and they're better than the pencil, and they're better than the computer sketch.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because you're doing it. You're working with the material.
But also, I'm not taking the art or the thing that I do like too serious.
That's right.
For me, it's still like fun. Everything I do, I want to do it with fun and not to prove myself or you know, to...
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that they want to be an art star. They want to be a money maker.
Yeah, and they only do it for that.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, and for me, that's not the case. Even when I'm going to be like 30, I'm already 44, but I'm going to be 50, 60, 70, 80. And
you're going to be the same vibe. Yeah.
I'm going to still do the same thing. Because sometimes people ask me, hey, Bue, you always going to paint the same characters, or you're always gonna paint birds, or you're always gonna be, and I'm like, man, it's like a comic drawer, no? It's like a comic drawer that draws Spider-Man or the Smurfs, or you know, it's my thing.
Right.
So why I should evolve every year with another style or you know, or follow the hype or
the new tricks or the new trends or whatever. Yeah.
Because now these days. And you see it in a lot of kinds of different art, no? Like music and street art and graffiti, and everyone always want to be on the same boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have my thing, and I'm always gonna do that thing. And maybe I don't evolve that much or whatever, but I'm not gonna follow the hype.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, now it's trap music, so we're gonna make trap music.
Right.
Then it's crunk music. Then it's gonna be crunk music. You know.
Right. You're just connected to the way you like to do it. That gives you a lot of pleasure.
Yeah.
And of course, there's discoveries along the way.
Yeah.
You know, and I see that a lot, different line quality, different ideas, different. You know, for a while there was characters.
On everything,
but also within the characteristics of the characters, like an eyebrow would be a character, and then the hat would be a character on the character, and then the hat would have an eye that would have a character, you know, and that was a trip for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, you know, all of a sudden you got this wide range of options, you know, and it's all depending on how you feel, sort of like, you know, what makes you feel good in that moment.
But because at the end I don't care too much, you know, because I like to do many things. I'm not focused on one kind of art or thing or music, or you know, because sometimes I like to play on PlayStation and game or go play soccer, or so I don't consider myself as an artist. And
no, I know.
When I tell people that, people are like, "Allez, come on, Bue, but you are an artist." It's only artists that
no, because you're European in that way. Like, I had to talk with someone else about it, and like, I was with Gino. Shouts to Gino Perez, and he feels that way too. It's like the title artist. That's a title. You know, it's not because you make stuff that you're an artist. And when you want to think classically about what an artist is, it's something else than what we're doing. But because we need to be categorized a little bit, we need to be placed. What are you? Definition. Okay, I guess we're all artists, you know. But are we really artists? Right? So I feel what you're saying. Also, because I've known you since you were a little kid, you know, and from the tagging days, I can also see that just getting up, right? Like you put your tag somewhere, you put 100 tags a night, you know, just the getting up part of it is still influencing you, I think, also. Just like, okay, we got this wall, I hooked it up, boom, I'm going to put up my style, and what's it going to be? Who knows? But I'm going to paint it, I'm going to put my love into it, I'm going to have a good time, and then that's it, right? That vibe still exists, I think, no?
No, that's still the same energy. Because
that's like how you approach painting walls still,
yeah? Because when I live in a neighborhood, I want to hit the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because now these days also you have a lot of artists and they're so like posh. They only want to do big walls. They only want to do and at the end of the year they paint like 10 walls.
Yeah.
I like to do small walls.
Right.
But I like to do when I walk in the city. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and integrated with the public space.
Right. Like the birds?
Yeah, the birds, that's like my tag, you know? People go
dope.
tagging or do tropes, and I do the birds.
Yeah. And they're everywhere. You painted probably 2,000 birds all over the fucking place. Wherever you live, there's at least 200-300 birds in that neighborhood.
Yeah. But because it goes, you know, it goes fast.
Right.
I think already some people are annoyed about my birds. But
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I like to put, always my friends tell me like, yeah, when you live in this neighborhood or in another neighborhood, there is a Bue.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
There's at least 50 Bues.
So, and that's what I like to do, you know, like do something quick, you know, you paint, you go.
And you figure that out, like it's very super fucking cool. Because no two birds look alike, but they're all related, right? And it is like a throw up. You know, you can do it in like 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes if you want to put some bells and whistles on it. But you can do it quickly, and not only that, but the people you do it for, there's a happy response.
Yeah.
And that's very important also to you, right?
Yeah. No, because because most of the people, you know, they're nothing with if you paint your name or you know,
they don't get much out of it.
Yeah. So okay, maybe also is a easy concept to paint a bird, but for me it's also the signification of a bird is, you know, you free as a bird.
Right.
Because, you know, for me, like the two animals that I like the most, like domestic animals, is like birds and cats. You know, they're always around, and they go, and they shit, they eat, and wherever they do what they want to do. It's not like a dog that's like a kid that you have to
begging around for food in the walk.
Voila. So, you know, and also for these, you know, birds, they don't have borders. For them, you know, if they fly, everything is theirs.
Right. Yeah, they're not restricted and not dependent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's super cool. And that's also a jump, because back in the day it was letters. You were one of the first guys around me that was painting letters. I mean, characters a lot. And I remember when I moved to LA, like I got there and I was like, letters first, you know. So the first number of pieces I did was all letters. But I remember like going around like trying to paint something, you know. Hey, can I paint this wall? And I show letters, like, no, we don't want any trouble. We don't want any graffiti. It's gang related probably or something. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just letters. And then I jumped to like painting objects and some characters in the early beginning, and people could relate to it. They're like, oh, that's nice. But when I did letters, A, I wouldn't get the wall, or two, they would be like, I don't understand this. It's nice colors, but, and so I think you got a perfect system here with all the birds and the characters, because like people, they can recognize a bird. There's a happy vibe in there as far as colors, and people like to see it. So it's easy also to get up.
Well, I think if it's in a public space, you have you have people, and people don't relate with I don't think like typography of someone's name.
It's difficult.
If you put a slogan or a sentence that means something, okay, then
if they can read it, then maybe you have a better shot of like
and also it depends in which part of the world you are, because you know, if you live in north of Europe, like where we grew up, like in Belgium, it's gray and 6-7 months of rain and cold and wind and, you know,
depressing weather.
Also, the people are like that. But where I live now, in Mexico, even if it's letters or whatever, it's like, hey, can I paint the wall? They don't even care. They're like, paint the wall.
They're optimistic.
Yeah, they don't. Here, really, you have to show. In Belgium, you really have to show. It's like, hey, this is what I do. And then they're going to decide, okay, yes or no.
Yeah.
In Mexico,
they don't even ask.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
they're just happy you want to put some color on the wall.
Yeah, voila.
And that's something else.
Yeah. I have to pee.
I have to pee also. We're going to pause it 1 second. So we had a little pee break, but we're back. Yeah, and then...
What we were talking about?
I don't even remember what we're talking about. We're talking about... people... We were talking about people connecting to figurative and animal...
In public space.
Right.
You know? Yeah. I think the whole graffiti thing about with names and is just for the culture, no? The people that's doing it.
The participants.
The participators. But the people who has nothing to do with that, they don't have nothing with that.
Right.
So
it's hard to relate. Yeah. Like you got to be some design person that really like takes another closer look. But I feel like half the time they're acting like they're really into, you know, the letter forms and all that sort of stuff. It's really an inside thing.
Yeah, it's an insight, but I like it.
Me too.
That's part of the art and the culture and blah blah blah. But also, I grew up with a family of comic drawers in Belgium, so I grew up always seeing that my dad and grandpa were drawing characters.
That's right.
So I've
they drew in the most famous comic books
here in Belgium.
Yeah, they're not exactly comic books, but they are. It's more a classical version, striptekening. Yeah. I don't know how you say that in
Bande
English.
dessinée in French.
Yeah, it's like proper. It's before. It's
like Tintin. No?
It's like Tintin, right? So your grandfather and father were highly involved on the highest levels. So and of course that's going to influence you.
Yeah. And also, like letters, it's not. I'm not that into it, and I'm not like too good with it too. So
right. Yeah, you never get deep into wild style and stuff. No, you're more like bubbly, round,
comfortable. You know, like all my influences comes from comics. Disney, Hanna-Barbera,
right.
My family, manga, and you know, and then you create your own little style. But right. Of course, I have my influences from the comics that I grew up with and the artists that I liked, and you know, friends. Because I have also a lot of friends in Belgium and out of Belgium that I look up to, so and influence me, and so you know.
Yeah, no, that's something. And then there was a move a couple of years ago to Mexico, which was very brave, and must have changed your life.
Well, yeah, because the first time I went to Mexico was with you, no? So at the end, it's because of you.
That's right.
I'm now in Mexico.
Yeah, Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
I remember you fell in love with Mexico on that trip.
Yeah, on that trip. And Puerto Vallarta is kind of, like
it's a tourist
spot. Tourist gringo, but still I like it.
But that is true, yeah.
But still I like it. But then a couple of years later, because I think we were in Puerto Vallarta in 2007, and I liked the vibe, I liked the food, and the people that we met, they were all super nice.
Shouts to Alejandra, if she's listening.
Yeah, Alejandra. I want to see, I saw her coincidentally.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah, before Gaston was born.
In Mexico City?
No, in Mitad La Punta or something.
No shit.
Yeah, somewhere in the beach between Sayulita and San Pancho.
Yeah.
And but then to go back to the Mexico history. Then 2009, I have my friend. Not a friend yet, but then there was a guy in Ghent, Belgium, and in those days we still had that toy kiosk store.
Right.
It's like a bookstore, your urban toy store, like a nice store to buy books and urban toys and spray paint and whatever. And I was working in a warehouse, I think, like order picking.
Yeah, the fulfillment.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And I had this phone call. It's like, hey, Bue, there is a Mexican guy who's a fan of you, and he bought some stuff from you in the shop, and he likes to meet you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I have to work till that hour, and I come to the store and meet him. So I went to the store. I saw the guy, and the guy is Carlos Stink from Mexico City.
Yeah, what's Stinky Fish?
Yeah, no, Stink.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stink fish, I think, is from Brazil, no?
Oh, okay.
So his Stink is STNK. And, I was like getting along with him, and he was staying in a hostel, and I'm like, hey, man, you can stay in my house instead of that, crappy hostel. So he stayed in my house. I cooked some typical Belgian food. He stayed like one day longer, and he's like, hey, if you ever come to Mexico City, you can stay in my house and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then it's 2009, and he gave me an email, and now I gave him an email like, hey, I want to come to Mexico City, so this summer. And he was like, yeah, okay, perfect. Then I know this Guru Gallery. Maybe I proposed them that you can do an expo.
Yeah, you can do a solo show.
Yeah. So then I did everything was okay. So he told me, hey, you can do while you're here, you can do the solo show. So I went to Mexico City then in 2009 for the first time. I did the solo show. And then I was like, okay, here I want to live.
Yeah, you just fell in love all over again.
Yeah.
Because I remember on that trip we did to Puerto, you were like, man, you were really feeling the vibe. We had a nice time too.
Yeah. No, for me, it was super nice. And it's so different. The vibe is so...
It's
so
opposite of Belgium. Because Belgium, always love for Belgium, but there is, it cannot be understated. When you live with gray clouds and rain most of the year, right? It does do something to your overall sense of happiness. It does depress you.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about that. So, and all of a sudden you're in Mexico where everything is popping and sunshine and, big energy and feeling.
Yeah. Well, it's not always that easy because, of course, I miss things of Belgium too. Because most of my life I lived here, and I miss, the friends and the food and the family.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm more happy there.
Yeah. That's good for me to hear. I like that you're saying that.
And here, if you live in Belgium, everyone is a bit too. Maybe it's not only in Belgium. Maybe it's in all the Western worlds. You're more like materialistic.
Yeah.
And especially in Belgium, because you 6, 7, 8 months in the year you live inside.
Yeah.
So of course you want to have this nice house and nice apartment with the whole setup and the design furniture and the the flat screen TV with the PlayStation, the iPhones, and upgrade and living this sim kind, this video game, like The Sims,
like a virtual reality kind of like if I'm going to be inside, everything's got to be tip top,
and everyone working, and
right.
Then you see a family in Belgium, then they don't see each other.
Right.
It's like, okay, I was talking with Billy and Murney about, because this is a couple, they do everything together. So most of the couples, especially here in Belgium, they have their own individual life, but they live together.
Yeah.
But at the end, the only thing they share is the house and the kids, but not the energy.
Right.
And I give you an example, because, okay, it's 8 in the morning, the wife goes to her job, the guy goes to his job. Then they don't see each other the whole day. They come home, they get the kid from the school, they make food, and how many minutes or hours they spend in a day together.
Right. Yeah.
And nada.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, most people are not capable of doing that because they would get very bored. What are we going to do together? You got to be like an artist type, or making music together, painting together, traveling together, because most people, it saves a lot of marriages that they only see each other 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
In the end, you know what I mean?
Or you can live separate and living separate but together.
Right.
Okay, but this is another story of the.
Right. So you're saying in Mexico you feel a different experience.
Yeah, because also people the lifestyle for me, it's kind of better because it's always good weather.
That's a plus, yeah.
It's a big plus, but also all the people, even poor people, they don't complain that much.
Yeah.
Here, people always complain.
I've noticed.
And they have everything.
Yeah.
They have.
And they really do, actually.
Yeah, they really have everything, but they still are complaining everything.
Social democracy, like, I hear complaints and I'm like, wait a minute. But, like, it's all built in. You got your dental, you got your medical, you got your double paycheck at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You got everything.
13 months.
Yeah. You kind of, it's like top 10 in the world as far as social democracies. Like, the people are very well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I feel like everyone there's a currency here where people like to complain how bad things are. Oh, did you hear about Rita? Or did you hear about this? Oh, and what Dave is going through, or whatever. Or like, there's always something to complain about. But I'm like, wait, it's actually pretty good. And maybe because you're so comfortable, there's these complaints.
But that's the reason I think in Belgium it's the weather, because you see it really drastic.
Yeah.
When it's summer and when it's winter.
It's true.
And yeah.
Since we've been here, it was pretty shitty weather because we got here at the same time a month ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty shitty in the beginning.
And even with us, we are like, ugh.
Yeah, we're feeling it. And so now, like, summer's really kicking in. As soon as there's a day of sunshine, everyone's out.
Yeah.
Everyone's out on the terraces having drinks, coming out. The city's packed, right? But just a few weeks ago, it was still bad weather, and there's no energy.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about this waffle business, man, because like you're a true Belgian. So you moved to Mexico. You've been painting everything all over the world all the time, and that's.
No, the moment I moved to Mexico, also a lot of people were like, Bue, you crazy. Now you're getting up here in Belgium, you making money. And it was like in this kind of period of my life, for what I did, I was doing good in Belgium. And then suddenly, in the middle of it, I go to Mexico.
Right.
Because I was like, no, man, I want to go to Mexico. I always, I was already in the newspaper, the mainstream newspaper Bue the Warrior goes to Mexico to
it was a thing. Yeah.
To make to put up a waffle bar.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to Mexico with my ex-girlfriend, Janine, who was like really, in everything I did, support me and went for it. And why a waffle bar?
Yeah. Why a waffle bar?
Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Mexico. I want to live there. But what I'm going to do to make money?
To make sure I
make
money. To guarantee some income, yeah.
And then I was thinking, but I like waffles. I grew up with waffles.
You're looking at me, pal. I love them.
Yeah, and especially the waffles from Brussels.
That's something the world doesn't know. Anyone that's listening, if you've never been to Belgium, you don't know a Brussels waffle.
It's the best waffle.
It's something else.
It's airy, it's crusty, it's light, it's
delicious. It's one of my favorite things.
Okay, let's do a concept with waffles.
Great idea.
And mix it with the urban stuff I do and do like an art gallery with waffles and make the waffles fusion it.
Right.
Mix it with the Mexican food.
Right.
And now I make like the most crazy waffles. Even people, they think, especially Belgian people, they're like, whoa, Bue, what kind of vomit you put on all those
It's not
waffles?
vomit at all. Because Belgian waffles here, there's like 3 kinds. With fruit, with whipped cream, and a couple of other things. But you went the next level. You're like, wait, a waffle is a vehicle. What if I put some chicken in there?
Yeah.
What if I add a little cheese?
No, but you can
do anything with a waffle.
Yeah, and super good.
And no, by the way, what you're doing, I have not seen that ever.
No, but now and especially in the city where I live.
Shit.
Yeah, because I did in Mexico you have like this breakfast dish and it's chilaquiles. And chilaquiles is this kind of breakfast with totopos, and totopos are like this like tacos kind of in a spicy tomato sauce.
Right.
With fried eggs and guacamole, with aguacate, like avocado, but I upgraded it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna make a chilaquile waffle. So I make my salsa like super fresh in my style, and I put with vegetables and a fried egg, and I put the waffle like on the side. Yeah. I don't put the salsa, I don't put the sauce on the waffle because otherwise the waffles get soggy.
Yeah.
But now I eat that waffle every Sunday. And even when I get Belgians visiting me and I'm like, hey, what do you think? Hey, what do you want to what's the best waffle in your eyes? Save me.
And then you make that one?
Yeah, and I give the chilaquile waffles.
And they go
think,
bananas.
Yeah, and they think it's very strange. The moment they try it, they're like, hey, but it's really good.
Nice.
And it's good, because at the end, the waffle on its own
is a vehicle.
Yeah, it has no sugar, it has no salt. So if you top
waffles don't have sugar?
Yeah, it has a teaspoon of sugar and a bit of salt.
But that's not the main thing.
But it doesn't taste salty or it doesn't taste sweet.
So it's neutral. It's neutral for anything you put with it.
Yeah, it's neutral.
Nice.
So the waffle you make, you can do savory and you can do sweet.
Yeah.
It's just the way you top it, no?
Right.
Because the moment you put sugar glass on it and whipped cream, of course, the waffle is gonna be sweet and the like the typical waffles we eat.
But I've seen you like on Holly waffles.
Yeah.
I've seen you make some stuff that I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's going deep on the fucking waffles.
No, but he goes good.
But in a good way. I can see, what I'm trying to say is, I can see your love for what you're preparing and your experimentation. And it reminds me, again, of the jazz and the freestyling you do on the wall. I see that same characteristic.
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same vibe.
It's the same, right?
Because I have like my menu. I have a small menu, and this you can have all days, all the week, all the year.
That's the standard.
That's the standard. But every week I make 3 different waffles, and I never know which waffle.
No shit.
So all my products are fresh. So every day I go to the market.
Right.
So I buy my fruit every day, maximum every 2 days. My vegetables the same, the meat the same. So I never have stock. I always make my stuff maximum for the day, or
like
maximum,
a chef.
Maximum 2 days. Because I buy my stuff in the in the markets.
Right.
And
so it's farmer.
Yeah,
fresh.
it's bio. Because
right.
if you buy in the supermarket, then you have the perfect strawberries.
But it's already like a week old.
Yeah. But you know, you can see in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it still looks the same.
Right. No, you work with farmer direct.
Yeah. The products I buy, after 2-3 days, it doesn't look too like visual. Doesn't look.
But
too
the flavor's still in there.
But you can't use it anymore.
Right.
So that's why I go every day to the market.
And so you look there, and you probably get inspired by what's available.
And then I'm like, okay, which savory waffle I'm gonna make now?
Yeah. No shit.
And then I'm like, you know, okay, I have this, I see this, and I see this, and I'm like, okay, and today, this week, I'm gonna make this savory waffle.
Yeah.
So, and for me, it's because I don't like to do every day. Imagine you have a pita business.
Yeah.
Or any kind of business, and you every day you have to make the same same.
Right. So you're
like
approaching
for 20, 30 years.
You're approaching it like an art almost.
Yeah.
Like the flavors are my colors. What am I gonna do today?
But I'm also a picky with food. You know, like I like good food. I like to.
You've always been a good cook. I remember all the things you've made me in the past. It's like, man, this is delicious.
I'm a skinny guy, but I eat a lot, and I eat good food, and I like to eat good food.
Yeah.
So sometimes I also don't understand. So once I made also tacos, and tacos in a whole different way, totally different. Because I'm like, man, you're in Mexico. You have all the vegetables. You have all the fruits. You have everything. So why always the same salsa roja, salsa verde, salsa, the guacamole? You know, you can make a mango chutney with chili habanero.
Ooh la la.
With marinated meat, Asian style.
Right, in a taco.
Yeah, in a taco.
Why not?
And bam. And it's a fucking taco.
Yeah.
You know? But Mexicans,
people like what they like.
Yeah,
like
it's not only Mexicans. People are so always with their tradition. No?
Yeah, they like what they like.
If they see me, like, okay, I think it's super strange. Also with the Brussels waffle, that no one before me already experiments.
Right.
Because now with the Brussels waffle, you make your dough, you put it in your iron, and the mango. Or the peras or the apples or whatever you put in
the dough.
Yeah, in the dough.
Why not?
In the machine, everything melts. It's so fucking good. No, it's really good. Yeah. And I'm like, come on.
Let's up the game. Yeah.
Yeah. How come in Belgium you?
It's weird because we get so many. We got so many nice updates every year. I come here. There's a new yogurt. There's a new something.
Yeah.
And they experiment everywhere. But except for with the classics, for some reason.
With some traditional things, they I don't know, they don't want to touch, or it's like, okay, this has to be like this, and nothing else.
And now, like with the spot you got in Guadalajara, you're incorporating art shows, like fully. You're featuring the local artists that you believe in. You see some flavor, some style. You want to showcase them, and I was really impressed because like normally people do that. It's good for the business, but I want to make some money with it. And you always say, look, I'm opening up this space. People know we're here. People know my background, and I'm just going to showcase artists. And I'm not going to take a cut.
No, because
that's beautiful.
Yeah, but first, I'm not a professional gallerist, so the space I have is just to promote upcoming or artists, and I'm like, I give you the space, and that's it.
Right.
So I'm not gonna put money in to promote it or whatever.
But you're also not going to take a cut.
No, but I'm also not. The money
which is
yours
because then it's up to them.
Yeah, and it's up to them, and of course I'm gonna help them like to make publicity in social media, but you know, for me it's for the movement of Holy Waffles, and you know, because if I do these kind of expos and shows and these kind of events, people eat. So
and so you get to introduce them.
Yeah,
it's a captive audience. And they're like, hey, by the way, you should try some of this. And then you're promoting this Belgian beautiful waffles. Delicacy that you've been remixing like a champion.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are surprised when they taste it.
And also when I do an expo with an artist, I make a special waffle for that day, and I call the waffle to the artist's name. It's like, imagine, Chase, you're gonna do an expo in Holy Waffles, and then I'm gonna ask you, okay, what kind of waffle you want? You want sweet? You want savory? And if you take sweet or savory, then I'm gonna ask you, what kind of what do you want? What do you want on the waffle?
Let's say I love broccoli. All of a sudden there's a broccoli waffle.
Then I'm gonna experiment and I'm gonna make something with that broccoli, and I'm gonna try it, and maybe I have to make 2, 3, 4 times the broccoli waffle, but at the end, you know, because you can, with the dough, you can do really everything.
You can do anything.
You can cook the broccoli, then you can mix the broccoli, then the mix of the broccoli, like the paste of the broccoli, you can mix with the dough, and then you can, you know, then you can do
infuse it.
And
that's beautiful. I liken it to the way you paint. It's the same thing, and it's the Dave way. It's the Bue way. You know what I mean? Like it's responding to what happens that day, that moment, right? And all of a sudden, boom! Now it's a visual thing, and when it comes to waffles, it's a sensory thing. It's a taste. It's a flavor thing. Yeah. And that's just who you are, and that's super dope.
Yeah,
I like that.
So now my goal is to build up Holy Waffles like as a, you know, it's there as it's a statement.
Right.
And I'm not there yet, but you know, every business takes a couple of years to you know,
to develop and catch its legs. But in the meantime, like all the recipes you got, you of course you wrote them down. You got the formula.
Yeah.
So by this time, you probably got hundreds of different recipes.
Well, hundreds is maybe a lot, but I have minimum 50 recipes.
So that's something.
Yeah.
You know, and at one point, you know, we talked about it before, but it would be fantastic to bring to the U.S. You know, that would be super, super nice because I think...
No, I think, man, I have a lot of American customers.
Yeah, and they dig it.
Yeah, no, they're really amazed every time. You know, I'm a humble guy with the graffiti I do, or with the paint, or with my drawings. I'm always like, you know, like humble and blah blah blah. But with the waffles,
you get a little arrogant.
Yeah, I'm like, my waffles.
Because you know you're the only one.
My waffles are the best.
Boy, you know? You're the only one, right?
You don't fuck around with the waffles. Yeah,
yeah. Look, I like that. Look at this, man.
No, but that's true. But because.
No, but that is true. If you're the only motherfucker doing it, you've been experimenting for years now. You know what you got. The champ is here.
Well, yeah,
you know?
Yeah. With my waffles, yes.
Yeah.
And all like Americans.
That's good.
All the people, all the people that come. Of course, you always have a hater. Always,
for sure.
Always like
that's really good news.
But in general, they're all like, man, this is the best waffle I ever eat.
Right.
And then I'm like, hey, but in America, like waffles and chicken.
Yeah, chicken and waffle. Roscoe's, shouts to Roscoe's. Pretty good, but that's not a real waffle.
Yeah, because the waffle...
It's a waffle, but it's not a real...
Yeah, it's a waffle.
It's a waffle, yeah.
But it's not...
Yeah.
The Brussels waffle is the... for me, a waffle has to be crusty.
Yeah, it's hard to explain to people who have never had it.
And when you have the waffle, you have to break it in the middle perfectly. You have to hear the crunch.
The crunch.
And because of course in Belgium we have two different waffles. We have the Brussels waffle and we have the Liège waffle. Yeah.
And the Liège waffle is the one that currently...
It's more like bread.
It's very dense, it's heavy.
Yeah. And it's good, I like it. And you can...
It's just a different waffle.
Yeah. You can eat it cold, you can eat it warm.
Yeah.
My waffle you have to eat in the moment. Because also I don't do takeaway.
You can't. It's over by the time it gets home.
Yeah. I don't do takeaway, but with nada, because I do more than waffles. Also coffee. I'm like, man, this is a restaurant. I make food with love. I don't want to give you like takeaway stuff with plastic and Unicell and like
it's over by the time you get home.
It's to throw away. Enjoy the waffle in my place. You can see art. You can listen to good music, but also in Mexico people don't like that because they always want to be treated like customers, and customers are king.
Yeah, that's an American vibe.
Yeah, also, but. When people come like, coffee to take away, I'm like, no, I don't do takeaway. Why? Because I don't want to have basura extra. I don't have plastic. I don't have...
You don't want to contribute to that.
And then, but you have recycled... but that's also basura. Because at the end...
What's basura?
Basura is trash.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So even if it's recycled material, at the end you're going to throw it also away.
Yeah. So you're conscious on that level too, yeah.
In the restaurant, yes. Because, if you can eat it there, if I want people to enjoy the stuff I make and not like...
Yeah, no, it's like...
You eat a taco on the street.
You know what it is? It's like takeout sushi.
Yeah.
Sushi's not made to take out. No. And I happen to know this waffle stuff, like, it's not gonna be what it's supposed to be 10, 15 minutes later. You gotta eat it right away.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best things, and boom, that's great. Dave, one thing we should talk about also is that another big movement happened in your life, and that is the birth of your first son.
Yeah.
How does that change your opinion on life, art, like the whole thing? Do you feel the same? Do you feel pressure? Are you extra happy? Do you know what the meaning of life is now? And what's going on? Because that's something, and because I've known you for so long, you feel the same to me. And I think you have a very relaxed attitude about it. I would be tripping, like, Jesus Christ, my life has changed completely. But it feels like you're just like, you know what? I'm going to include my son, and he's going to be everywhere I am. And there's nothing to worry about. Is that the vibe?
Yeah, that's the vibe, Also, in which way my son came into this world, no?
Yes.
I'm not going to be, like, too much in detail about that. But
sure.
In the beginning... I was really stressful about that because I think I'm never gonna have a kid in my life, and I suddenly, bam, this happens.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's really the best thing for me in my life.
Nice.
Because I'm still who I am. I'm still, I still do this, but it's not about me anymore.
That's what people say.
It's about him.
Right.
And if it was a her, it's a her. It's about, it's about, okay, you put something extra on this planet.
Right. Well, what have you changed, let's say? Where before maybe you didn't care, now you're like, you know what? I got a son, I can't be doing that. Like, what kind of change? Or is everything sort of like the same?
Well, I think I'm still in everything I do and think and who I am, I'm still the same. I think I'm more calm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like maybe less drama.
Yeah.
I'm more happy because I think I'm more happy with my kids.
Yeah.
Because the joyness and the energy because it's a mix of you and this other person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so pure. So it's like you have a external hard disk, an empty hard disk, and you
gotta put files on there.
And you put files. Yeah, you put files in it, and the hard disk getting more and more,
Smarter,
get more and more database.
Yeah.
and that's also with the kids, and of course, in a way, he's gonna have his own personality and his
Sure.
own thing, but it's all who I am and who his mother is. It's you giving and sharing and an example. A good example is when I have a bad day.
Uh-huh.
Like a bad day and everything is negative and blah, and it's like, and then you see your kid with his smile.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, it's like,
It's not that bad of a day,
yeah.
actually.
At the end, fuck that.
It's all relative.
Yeah, but I think it's for every parent's gonna say the same thing.
Right.
And in my life, I'm now here in Belgium. They're all here, and for me it's not, because a lot of people are afraid. Yeah, but I have to give up a lot.
Right.
When you have a kid.
You probably don't.
I don't see it that way. Maybe I said that also before, but the moment you have it,
Like it's just a new reality, and that's that.
Yeah,
And you're
well,
happy to be there.
yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
So, and what's the fun part is he loves everything that I like.
Yeah. I've seen
For
that. The break dancing,
yeah.
the this, the that.
For the moment,
Right.
and probably that's also gonna change.
Right.
But he already has the base, no, the foundation,
That buoyness.
Yeah, and then probably whatever he's gonna be, I'm gonna be okay with it.
Right. Yeah, you're super chill about it. Like I remember in the beginning you were super worried.
Yeah,
But I had a feeling everything was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And now like I can see like your happiness on top of everything else, and that's a great thing because it goes. You put in there in everything you do.
Yeah, and also my son has his own waffle, the Gaston waffle.
Oh yeah, what's that look like?
The Gaston waffle is mascarpone cheese.
What's mascarpone?
Mascarpone is
Italian
like this.
cheese?
It's a butter kind of suave cheese,
I'll dig it.
and then you put like in Spanish is uvas, in Flemish is druiven.
Grapes.
Yeah, grapes and then honey.
That sounds
and
good,
then
man.
hazelnuts.
Wow.
Bam.
That's a very elegant waffle.
Yeah, that's a good waffle.
And he came up with that one?
No, I came up with that one, but I'm gonna
But
get.
he likes it?
Yeah, no, he loves it. The Gaston waffle.
I like that, man.
Yeah. So grapes, mascarpone, and honey, and hazelnuts.
Hazelnuts is my favorite shit right now.
Yeah.
In coffee, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm hazelnut fucking crazy. Beautiful thing, man. Well, young Bue, I think this is good.
Yeah.
For right now, right? If you want to give any shouts, where can people find you online?
Online, well, everything is the same. It's Bue the Warrior on Instagram and Bue the Warrior on Facebook, and that's it.
Bam, that's it. So this was a little taste. Of,
And if you want to see my waffles, holywaffles.mx.
Also on Instagram. Yeah. And go check those out. You wanna tease yourself with a little mouth-watering activity. Go check that out and see how it's done by this young master, Mr. Bue the Warrior. My man.
Bob,
Thanks for doing this, my man. Love you.
thank you for having me. Chasey Chase.
Chase. Until the next one. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bam, that was that. That was my man, Bue the Warrior. And hope you dug it. And, got a little closer to understanding, all his motivations and what he's up to. As always, you can find us at Happy No Fear on Instagram. I'm, of course, at The Art of Chase. And do us a favor, rate the podcast wherever you listen to it. Give it a couple of stars or 5 stars if you're so inclined. And we'll see you next week. Peace.